You pressure test stuff. And that's why you have to pressure test it. If you're not pressure testing against a knife or a stick, you're not doing yourself a service, right? So when this happens, I'm hoping that this is gonna get the job done to at least no longer have a knife in me. Like really simplistic put, that's my goal. Knife is in me, knife is out of me. Now I gotta try and do something else. What am I gonna do? Well, hopefully I can move away. And this is where you have to decide, do I move in or do I move out? Is there a chance for me to maybe get a free headbutt and just explode forward, but maybe that gets me stabbed? Again, this is why you should be videoing yourself at home so you can re-go if you don't have a photographic memory. But let's say scenario is now is as I'm pushing in, he's really pushing back on me, and now I have energy. And see, once that energy started coming forward, I can choose to try and fight that, but don't fight it. I'm here, he goes forward, I redirect it now. So now this is coming here and it's coming up. I'm holding on to that with a death grip still. Try and cut. See, he has to move his wrist and try a whole bunch of different ways. The reason why is because when I'm grabbing with my wrist, I'm touching myself. So if I touch myself, now it's here, but watch, if I'm out here, now I can get stabbed. Again, as we were talking about earlier, you're in a knife fight, you're gonna get stabbed, you're gonna get cut. Try and take as little damage as you can is really your goal. All right, today we're gonna be talking about knife defense. There's a lot of different concepts and theories around this. Really, when it comes down to it, I just want you to get good at building some base things. When I'm training knife defense, my number one goal is actually to start in one of the worst positions possible, which is the knife is actually already in me. And a lot of people may say like, well, you know, that's gonna create bad habits and things like that. I personally don't believe it will, because if somebody's attacking you with a knife, you may not know it until it's already inside of you. So when we start in that position, just take it as it is that's where we're starting today. Okay, so now I don't have my knife out or my gun out, depending on where you are. I'm getting kind of ambush attacked right away. I probably get a lot of grief for this, but I like to start with the knife in me. The reason why I do this is now I have been attacked. Have I built or possibly built a bad habit of letting somebody come close to me and stab me? No. No, I really don't think so. If he had a knife in his hand, number one, he stepped towards me, I'd be like, whoa, what are you doing? Right? Or immediately looking for mine. But that's why we're starting here in the worst case scenario. It's already inside of you, right? And like, just don't beat that with a dead horse. There's no point, right? You're stabbed. Do something with it now. So a lot of schools will teach to try and get two hands on top of here. And there's nothing wrong with that unless they have a super skilled attacker who's just gonna light me up with his left hand or access a secondary weapon, and I'm gonna be in trouble anyways. So can you do that? 100%. We're gonna play with that today, maybe if we have time. But right now I'm dealing with the stab. So the first thing I wanna do is I wanna keep this away from me. And our natural reaction is gonna be to want to be able to do that, whether it be one hand or two hands. I look at more so of I don't want to attack the wrist, I want to attack the mechanism that's moving the wrist, because the wrist is attached to the knife, which is the elbow. So the more that I can do that and get better at controlling that, now I'm shutting down his joint. So if he can't move his arm back anymore, like he can move it back, but notice all his energy is going backwards now. If I'm in trouble, it's because he's prison shanking me or going forward. If he has good training, that slash is going to turn into a stab and vice versa. So I want to stop that right away. I'm driving in, I'm using my whole body, I'm tucking my chin down, making sure the top of my head is as close to him as possible, and I'm just shutting this down here. When I put my whole, if I try and use my arm as this, if I try and use my arm, look, it doesn't work. If I sink down, now I'm using my body. Okay, so don't use your muscles with this. Lock in isometrically, like you're flexing, that's isometric resistance. So the stab is in me, and I'm just into here. You can't overtrain that. You can't. Thousands and thousands of reps if you want to get good. Just here and get good. A bad example would be this. Notice his elbow's away, and I didn't put energy into him. I'm now controlling the fight as much as I can. Notice how he was still intent on coming forward. If you just kind of fall back as I hit you, if he's, get away, right? Like he's still in the fight. He's still stabbing, still putting pressure. Notice how the knife is bending. Now I'm here, and see, he fought back. And that's what took that space and brought it back into here. So very simple drill, train hard. Get it away from you.
Yeah.
You're really in the right arm, get in the left. Boom. That's the one that's got to be like for sure, for sure. That was better. Okay, try and go more into him now. Okay. There it is, that's the one, that's the one. Because we need to shock the spine, right? And by that I mean balance. Okay, so now where are we taking our training, right? Kyle and Eric were just playing with the idea of the knife starts in them. Then once Eric goes, I try to get 2 stabs. And lots of different things that you'll see happen. A lot of people want to get their left hand involved. A lot of people want to move this out of the way. But if you have a good solid base, they're now thinking about the things that they're not trying to do, which is murder you. They're going to try and get there, but it's not always the case if this is trained very well. If it doesn't happen though, right, there's one moment where it was like kind of here and Eric's hand kind of slipped too far away and Eric felt like there was trouble. His left hand just kind of pushed and he moved away from it. Like there's so many things that you're going to learn once you pressure test stuff. And that's why you have to pressure test it. If you're not pressure testing against a knife or a stick, you're not doing yourself a service, right? So when this happens, I'm hoping that this is going to get the job done to at least no longer have a knife in me. Like really simplistic put, that's my goal. Knife is in me, knife is out of me. Now I got to try and do something else. What am I going to do? Well, hopefully I can move away. And this is where you have to decide, do I move in or do I move out? Is there a chance for me to maybe get a free headbutt and just explode forward, but maybe that gets me stabbed? Again, this is why you should be videoing yourself at home so you can re-go if you don't have a photographic memory. But let's say scenario is now is as I'm pushing in, he's really pushing back on me, and now I have energy. And see, once that energy started coming forward, I can choose to try and fight that, but don't fight it. I'm here, he goes forward, I redirect it now. So now this is coming here and it's coming up. I'm holding on to that with a death grip still. Try and cut. See, he has to move his wrist and try a whole bunch of different ways. The reason why is because when I'm grabbing with my wrist, I'm touching myself. So if I touch myself, now it's here, but watch, if I'm out here, now I can get stabbed. Again, as we were talking about earlier, you're in a knife fight, you're gonna get stabbed, you're gonna get cut. Try and take as little damage as you can is really your goal. So when I get to here and this hand comes up, this hand can come underneath, right? So now I have good underhook position onto here. So again, if he tries to pull that away, I at least have connection. Obviously, I would still be holding on to this. So while I'm holding on to this here, now I'm shutting off that hand a little bit. I got to watch the back of my head. But again, I'm just transitioning to a place where maybe I feel more safe. This got the blade out of me. This gives me more of a control position. At a base level, I want to get away, maybe get to my secondary weapon or run. So as he's trying to stab into here, I also don't want him to circle and hug me. If he hugs me, then people tend to switch the knife and put in their other hand. So that's why my shoulder's pushing into him. He goes ahead, he's still trying to stab and pull, and now I'm here and I'm away. And I'm just trying to get away. Notice when I got away, my hand got cut, but not my body. Okay, you're gonna get cut. So I'm here, I pull up, reestablish my grip. The reason why this will feel stronger is because it's closer to your core. So now when I'm moving away, I'm trying to get away. What happened there, because I tried to make it look better for the camera on the angle, was I stepped this way. What I should have done is stepped away and then stepped through, but I was worried about my environment, so it's never gonna be perfect. So again, it's starting in you, you control it, you feel their pressure. If they're going backwards, go backwards, don't go with them. This is a different kind of drill. So I'm in here, he's pushing, I redirect it, I switch my hand, and now from here, I'm asking my partner to try and cut me every time we leave. But there's gonna be a little bit of a struggle here. I'm gonna put energy into him. That was better, right? He was a little bit safer, but I know my environment very well. This is my dojo. So you're gonna have to be able to be good at that. This is just one possibility of thousands of what ifs. Go train it, have fun. So now start with the stab in and multiple stabs. Now you're going at it. So now we're high. No left hand. Yeah.
And still trying to cup.
Do what you gotta do, yeah. But ideally the cup will keep you safer.
Yeah.
Not bad. You knocked over their shit.
Whoops.
It's okay.
At least I got the cup that time.
Yeah, way better, way better. Head control, head. Nice. Good, smart, smart. Good. All right, knife defense continued. So the knife is in me, we're playing, we're pressure testing stuff, some funky things are coming out. Okay, so we're getting way better at getting this hook. When my shoulder comes into here, I don't want to be turning to the side. If you look at my angles, I'm 0 to his 90, right? So I'm going to fall over easy this way. If I have good judo, maybe I'll turn to there, but I don't do judo with knives because the knife usually ends up in me to a degree. You can be good at it though. There's other good judo takedowns. So when I come into here, we're really trying to get good at this right hand, say I use Wing Chun terminology, Hun Sao circling arm to come up. This hand is going to feel like it wants to come to here, right? But if he drops his elbow, now I got a big slash. No thanks. So again, my death grip is on here. Let's just talk about that death grip quick. Okay? Depending on where he's stabbing, I don't want my thumb, like see how it's straight up and down? I don't want my thumb to stop him, right? I jam my thumb so many times when training this until I was shown how to properly do it, of making an L and trying to hit that L, and now the L looks more like a V. But he can really feel my hand is all the way down to the palm. So now I have contact with him through the strongest part of my fist, or my hand palm, I should say. So not your thumb, but through here. So when I get to this point, I come to here, right? One of my favorites is now to wrap, come up, so you have a chance to reassess. But that's not coming up today, we're gonna do something different. So what's happening is Eric is having a hard time getting his hand, not necessarily to this position, but it's getting here quite a bit. And there's nothing wrong with that happens. The reason why that's happening is Kyle's liking pushing with his left hand, creating distance. Go ahead, push, right? And now the hand is hard to get here. It's hard to get here. We'll deal with that left hand as time goes on. Right now, we're just gonna deal with what I'm doing. So I'm here, now the hand maybe comes down. This is sketchy. I'm not a big fan of doing it, but when done at the right time, it's great. The reason why it's sketchy is at some point, I have to make a switch. See my fancy footwork? Draw my foot back, draw it out. Looks like a V, so we're gonna call it a V step. The reason why is I want to get away, switch, switch, go. See the sketchy part? Switching, I'm not a big fan of. This is my death grip, I don't wanna let it go. But maybe he's pushing me away. I've lost my chance to control that elbow. So now I'm here, my hand switches, I'm gonna let go of that one last. And I'm trying to get away, okay? The energy from your partner here must feed that way on purpose to help you. What do I mean by that? If he's like this, he's trying to stab into this side. So as I control that and get up to here, now he's gonna maybe push me away, or we're just fighting and see right away he's already away. Now, if he chambers back, the energy when you first start should be going to the right side of my body. Left side, right side. So that my partner can help me, whoa, I shouldn't be trying that technique I was just trying. This technique keeps it here. This feed, whoa, that changes things right away. So again, from here, I have good control. I'm not letting go of this. If Eric's a good training partner, the second he feels my hand go, he's cutting through here, or even worse, into the auxiliary or brachial artery. No, don't do that. Okay, keep this nice and tight and strong. But he creates distance somehow while we're fighting. I'm here and I'm away. I'm stronger than Eric, so I could do this. Control and go. But I don't have my knife out yet. It's not time to finish him. It's time to stay defended. So again, I was here. Then I was here. He was pushing into me. That forced me to get to this. He's pushing into me, creating some space. That allowed my right foot to push back for me to cut the angle. But look, he's the mountain. I'm moving away from it. And then we'll deal with what happens after that. Train your butt off. Yes, better. That's whatever. Are you running away?
Yeah, I'm running
You
away.
have a puncture in you and a slash.
Yeah.
You have survived a knife fight. Nice. Yeah, there it is. All right. So if we've done all of our training properly from the beginning, again, starting in worst case scenario, I'm driving in, controlling that elbow as much as I can. Notice my arm isn't here, so it doesn't slide off. I'm finding a good kind of pivot point. If that's all going well and I feel the energy coming forward, I'm wrapping that arm. If he starts pushing away from me today, maybe I get my transfer and I'm out. If I can run away from here, run away. But if you have your family with you, maybe you don't have a chance. Remember, you've been ambushed. So now we're talking about a very controversial range, right? Filipino martial arts, this kind of Largo range. He's stepping in to stab me. Let's say he does the same stab. Maybe I block it and maybe I simultaneously strike. Like nothing's for sure, if I may. So if I go to here, your left hand blocks and your right hand hits. See, it's kind of the same habit. But see, he's like, I don't know what to do with my arm. It's weird because if I do this, is there a chance of him coming to the inside? If he grabs like this, is there a chance going to the outside? So then everybody's like, well, if I seen him reach for the stab, I'm going to miss and cut up. And it's like, yeah, you're right. There are a lot of weird possibilities. Because I'm taller, it might look or appear a little bit easier for me because I can touch him before he can touch me, even with an 8-inch extension. Oh, he got me a little, right? But now, this is where my fingers go into the eyes, right? When you're going or you're aiming for the eyes, grab. That's your goal, okay? Don't go straight fingers unless you can punch through watermelons like Shaolin Kung Fu, okay? Just go for here. Still aim for the palm to hit the base of the chin, so at least if you hit the nose, it kind of crushes a little bit, maybe makes our eyes water, but I'm just kind of grabbing. Don't try and like do like Budo where it's like here, whoa, perfect, right? It's not gonna happen all the time, right? Or ever, who knows? So really when it comes down to it is it's, do I have a chance to maybe get off and strike? This is again where I'm not using my habit of trying to grab, but maybe I'm paring away. And maybe that buys you, again, a little more time. If we run through that scenario, I got ambushed on attack. I realized there was a knife in me. He continued to try and stab me. I controlled that. He got really aggressive and pushed in. I chose to switch sides, get away. He turned around and tried to cut me. He comes in, and maybe I get one hit again. Like, that's pretty good. I have one stab into me. Probably have a couple of incidental slashes or cuts. Right? I'm probably bleeding at this point. Do I want to choose to go back in? Maybe that hit buys you more time. Like, who knows? There's no perfect way of knowing what's going to work. The other option is to engage again, which you, again, may not have a choice. You got away from everything. He comes in, and now you're back to here. Okay? And now you're back to here, and it's like, okay, we can what if it. But at least you got back to here, and you're not at this point and just getting stabbed and stabbed. So from the top, again, I'm in, I'm controlling, I'm passing, I'm moving, I'm away. He's still coming at me because he's crazy. I get a hit, he comes in again, then I again move in. Maybe from here at this point, I need to control this a little bit more. Maybe I need to get away. Like, this is why it's one of the most controversial subjects, because there's so many things that could what if, or that could happen. So train all of them, like get good at them, but like don't limit your training because somebody said, oh, that's unlikely to happen, because somebody's gonna do it. I've been teaching for almost 20 years and somebody does it, trust me. They try some fancy stuff to look good in front of people. But the thing that's kept me the safe the longest is controlling. I'm taking the least amount of damage I can. And to me, that's more self-defense than anything. Have fun. 1 foot away. Closer. That's like 5 feet. Closer. Go. Stab, stab, stab. Prison shanko, prison shanko. Hey, nice kick. Wrist control, wrist control. Oh, nice. But you're just too worried about being on there, right? So what's happened a couple times is when you come around this way, you're stopping to fight him. If you ran, I think you'd be better there. Try again, try again. 1 foot away.
And then I feel like you don't get the first, you're like, Where is it? And you're
Don't
reaching.
chase hands, chase elbows.
Right.
Chase the elbow. He'll come to you if he wants to murder you. 3, 2, 1, go. Better, way better. Yeah, see, now you're worried about exit. You had the perfect line that last time. Switch it up. But it's very hard. That's why you see, like, sometimes I'm a little more calm
Yeah.
and do a little bit more of a fight, because I'm actually, like, if I'm in that fight, if I'm here, right, step, right, as I'm here, I'm actually waiting for that left hand to get involved. Because once that left hand gets involved, right, like, there's so many options from there. But I got long ass arms, so it's a great technique for me. If the guy was rotund and you tried to keep your arm around him, I don't think it would work well for you. No. But getting away, remember, if you're here, he can't cut you. Ready? Foot away.
So right here?
Sure. A little closer. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, nice. Nice. Closer, closer, go. Bite, 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 grab everything, bite his shoulder. Nice, good. Head control into him. Way, nice, good, good. Switch. Nice wrap. That was quick. That's quick, that's fortunate.
It's scary. It's like
When you train it,
adrenaline, yeah.
nobody trains like this that I've seen. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Oh, you read it like a mile. Good. Control it. Move around the mountain on this one. Nice. Yeah. Good. Would have got a tricep cut on the way out. That's it. Nice, guys. That was super fun.
It was.
I really
Sweet.
enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I really liked the focus on getting to control. As soon as like that really stood out for me as like the key takeaway is to get control and
Yeah.
stay safe that way.
And knife is like when you train knife, you realize there's not much you can do to get out there without being cut.
For sure.
But it's such a controversial topic on the internet, but I mean, training it is a good idea, and building the mechanic was cool. Sometimes you think going towards it is more dangerous, but sucking an arm in and having that structure actually keeps you quite safe.
Yeah, and I mean, like, it's hollowing out, but it's all those things that you're only going to learn if you pressure test, right? So, like, there's a lot of knife disarm stuff that I do, which I like to call, like, the art side of Filipino martial arts or knife work. And, like, I love training it, builds sensitivity, it builds lots of good attributes. Like, I'm not knocking the art by any means, but if you want to know if your shit works, like, go test it. Like, grab a knife and go stab people. Well, hopefully people you know, right? But yeah, like there's no perfect solution. I mean, you know, we launched the videos online, they did really well, but at the same point, there's so much controversy. Well, like I would do this, and I would do this, and I would do this, and I would do this. And yeah, good. Like good way to think about it, way to be a step ahead of the game, because the self-defense world is about going in and knowing your rules of engagement. In this case, if somebody attacked me like this, how should I respond? If you don't have a very basic knife defense of stabbing versus slashing, then I don't think you have a good self-defense game, right? Because we have to start somewhere, and I love basics. Basics make things work.
And I know one of the common things is, well, I just pull out my gun and shoot the person, but
Yeah, we'll do this stuff so you can get space to pull out your gun. Like,
Yes, that's
like that's it, right? And like, if 95% of your guys' base is American, then every time that they see me get space, they should be able to draw that gun in that time. I mean, Dan and Asanto did that thing back in the late 80s, maybe early 80s, where the cops were told, okay, the threat is coming at you with a knife, you must pull out your pistol and try and get 2 rounds off. It was like 25 yards before cops could actually like get off some rounds. And it's like, that's a crazy amount of distance. So after seeing that video at a really young age as a martial arts instructor, I was like, well, why not just start it in you? Because if most attacks are ambushed, right, then you're already starting in the worst possible case. If somebody's approaching you and you see a knife, obviously you should be running. But if somebody's approaching you anyways, you need to keep 6 feet. You need to keep that reactionary gap. And in self-defense classes, you should train that a lot. right? You should train to, no, this is my space, nobody's allowed this space, because then you're gonna get really good at the environment. But like, I mean, we did so many different things, and it's just what came out of today's lesson. And I think that's what I love about training with you guys. It's like, I had this in my game plan. We were going to do this today. We were going to get to the wrap. We were going to show control. From the control, we were going to be able to exit and possibly move or get away, kind of what I always teach my bread and butter. But instead, the bread and butter, I'm starting to realize more and more as an instructor, is 1-2. And build that control. And then it's like, where it goes from there is going to be different. Like, if Kyle was uke today, my uke, it could have been a whole different lesson. And I think that's what we have to be able to do as partners, is like, feed the proper energy if you want this drill to work. If you don't want the drill to work, then do something else. But then lies in the question of, do your techniques work? And it's like, yes, against this kind of energy. So you have to be able to train with a lot of that, or a lot of different kinds. So.
You mentioned Tai Chi.
Yeah, Tai Chi, Aikido, kind of the whole idea of like, I'm not trying to move the mountain, I'm trying to move around it as much as I can. If they're coming in with very hard energy, should I match them with hard energy, or should I turn it into soft energy? Like there's so many different things that you can play with, and it's like, I've always been bigger, so because of that, I've always been told, like, stop using your muscle, stop using your size, and try and use something else. And then when I have a smaller student that requires that they have no muscle, they have no size, they're always outmatched and outweighed, well, now I know how to teach them. So with the knife work, I have found, though, with better success, and when I say soft, I'm going to say they're coming in really hard. I'm matching their structural energy so I can feel them, and then I'm choosing to go soft when I make them more hard, if that makes sense. So. Yeah.
Well, I think that's a good place to leave it. Guys, we're bringing you this free content because we just wanted to throw out a ton of value to our community.
Absolutely.
And, you know, if you want, check out www.budobrothers.com. You can support us there. Calgary Kung Fu Academy. If you're interested in booking a seminar, flying this guy out, and training at your dojo, make sure you look him up as well, too. But we're going to try to bring you as much content as you can. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe button, and just put a notification on if you want to catch this every week. Till next week.